How's it, folks? A quick warning before I get started, there will be some minor spoilers regarding some weapons, spells, locations, and a very minor story spoiler about the enemy this whole video is about. With that out of the way, let me start by clearing up some confusion about the Wyrdstalker. It only appears at night, and you will hear a bell ring when it spawns in, and it won't attack you until you have pulled out the first relic belonging to Arthur at the end of Act 1. If you manage to defeat it, another one won't spawn until you pull out the next artifact, which is good for those who like going out at night to hunt for better items and farm for some experience. So let's get started with by far the easiest way of defeating this guy, and that is using the Death Whisper consumable. If you get a sneak attack off, for example being a stealth sniper after using this item, it will auto kill any enemy. The most reliable way of getting the item is to buy it off the fence both over in Wyrdknight in a derelict tower. The second method is also fairly easy, but it does come with some downsides. This one involves stealing the dagger called Greed from the Courtmaster in the keep in the first act. This dagger will defeat any enemy and convert it to gold, but it will also add a new dagger called Regret that permanently decreases all gold income by 1% and will persist even if you try to load an earlier save. It isn't much of a detriment as it can easily be offset with one attribute point in practicality, but it's worth keeping in mind. The third method is my personal favorite for any enemy with a large health pool. This one involves using the druidic spell Vinelash that you get after giving tribute to all of the druidic shrines in the Act 3 zone Forlorn Swords. Its heavy charge ability deals a lot of damage, slows the enemy down, creates a short-lived barrier that the enemy can get stuck on, and can even interrupt the attack the Wyrdstalker does when they disappear before charging you. And on top of all of that, every second cast staggers the enemy, allowing you to either close the distance and get a few good hits in, or to keep your distance and cast your damage spells. Main downside of the spell is that you only get it in the Act 3 zone, so you will need to use one of the other methods against the Wyrdstalker until then. The fourth method involves piling on status effects. The Wyrdstalker is immune to fire, but it is still affected by frost, shock and bleed. Your best bet will be to keep your distance and to dodge to avoid getting hit while stacking the different status effects. I would recommend using both the Bleed Ring and the Arc Lash to deal both lightning and bleed damage if you are attacking from range. If you are a melee fighter, then use Frost for the stun alongside Bleed for the damage. You could also try using summons to distract it and give you some breathing room, but they aren't very reliable and they will only attack if they are hit. Even if you try to order them to attack, the Wyrdstalker doesn't register for some odd reason. And compared to the previous methods, fighting like this will be more of a slog. The fifth method to try involves using a couple of exploits. Firstly, the Archdruid Breaches increase the spell crit chance by 100% each time you upgrade them, and if you pair them with some other spell crit damage items, you will reliably get big crit damage each cast. I believe you can only get the Archdruid Breaches in the Act 3 zone though, so that's the same downside as the Vinelash. The second part of this method involves exploiting the enemy's collision pathfinding with static objects. So you can do this from Act 1, Act 2 or in Act 3. Basically you can force the Wyrdknight to get stuck on objects while you pelt it from range with spells or arrows. I like to use the small tents that you find in bandit camps. Just make sure you clear out the bandits during the day so you're not fighting both them and the Wyrdknight at the same time. If you want to get him stuck, basically bring him into the middle of the camp while he's doing his spinning attack and then dodge out and make sure he keeps walking into one of the tents while you attack from range. It will take a while, like a couple of minutes to defeat him this way, but you'll be a lot safer if he can't even get close to attack you. And finally, I want to give some general tips. Firstly, for those of you who keep finding themselves getting destroyed in one hit, there are a couple of perks that could help you. There's one perk in the King Arthur tree that auto-activates the slowdown ability if you were to receive fatal damage. There is also a perk in the Sneak skill tree and in the Red Death skill tree that will give you a second wind if you were to receive fatal damage. These fights are also a great opportunity to use your stockpile of potions and food sitting in your inventory. These are the strongest enemies in the game, so there is no need to hoard all your potions for other enemies. Also, having around 50% mana shield from gear will greatly reduce the damage you will take. So if you are running around as a mage or as some other lightly armored build, I would consider picking up the Arcanist set, which should help you with that. Also, don't forget you can drop a quick save and try to learn its attacks and when to parry or dodge. He telegraphs each of his moves, so once you get used to his moveset, you can pretty easily defeat him without getting hit even once. And finally, if you don't feel like fighting him, you don't have to. Either run away or drop a bonfire and throw some cobwebs in it as soon as you hear the bowl at night time, and it will despawn each time you enter a safe area. I hope this video will help some of you to beat up the big guy and no longer need to fear playing during the night. Please consider hitting the like button, subscribe button, or that other YouTube goodie stuff. It will really help the video out. Otherwise, I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care and cheers for now.